The silence of the Californian sun has been shattered by a royal storm that no one saw coming. It began with a simple, elegant gift, or so it seemed. On a cold January evening in 2026, Sophie, the Duchess of Edinburgh, unboxed a package from Meghan Markle's As Ever collection. What she found inside wasn't luxury. It was an insult. A $64 candle, marketed as a premium scent of the royal gardens, was missing the most basic component, a wick. There was no way to light it. Just a solid, expensive block of wax. But the insult went deeper. The marmalade that accompanied it was described by palace staffers as chemically bitter and inedible. When Sophie's friend reached out for a refund, they were met with an automated wall of silence. This wasn't just a manufacturing error. It was the spark that ignited an institutional war. Meghan Markle, once the Duchess of Sussex, now finds herself accused of selling fraudulent luxury to the very family she left behind. The backlash didn't stay behind palace walls. Within hours, the internet exploded. Hashtags like #Wickless scam and #royal ripoff began trending as hundreds of customers shared identical stories. Meghan's response? Not an apology, but a private lashing out. Sources claim she accused Sophie of engineering the complaint to sabotage her brand. She doubled down, claiming royal insiders were manufacturing outrage to torpedo a business led by a woman of color. This narrative shift only made things worse. By early February, the scandal had reached Princess Anne, the enforcer of the royal family. Anne didn't just watch, she acted. She issued a rare internal directive to cease all marketing that implied any official royal endorsement. The As Ever brand, with its crest-style imagery and heritage labels, was now under the microscope. The illusion of royal prestige was crumbling, and Meghan Markle was the one holding the hammer. As the royal frost settled in London, legal fires began to burn in the United States. By February 8th, the Federal Trade Commission had received nearly 900 formal complaints against Meghan's brand. Customers weren't just angry about the lack of wicks. They were furious about the deception. A group of 36 buyers, represented by high-powered law firms, announced a class-action lawsuit seeking nearly $3 million in damages. They cited fraudulent misrepresentation and breach of warranty. The Better Business Bureau downgraded As Ever to a D- rating, a death sentence for any luxury brand. But the most cutting blow came from the very industry Meghan sought to conquer. A leaked email from a former Netflix executive revealed that As Ever products were being stuffed into disposal bags for departing employees. They weren't prestige gifts. They were storage junk. Meghan, who once claimed a freaky eye for detail, was now being exposed as an entrepreneur who ignored factory warnings about machinery defects. A former manufacturing partner claimed they warned her team about the Wickless units, only to be told it was aesthetic noise. This reveals a disturbing pattern of ego over accountability. Even Meghan's payment processors, Stripe and Shopify, began flagging her accounts due to an unprecedented surge in chargebacks. This is the death spiral of a brand. When trust vanishes, the money follows. In the UK, legal teams connected to the Lord Chamberlain's office began a trademark review of her packaging. They flagged phrases like "inspired by royal heritage" as misleading. Princess Anne's strategy was clear: isolate, deauthorize, and delimerize. No longer could Meghan trade on a crown she had spent years criticizing. The Operation Crown Integrity was in full swing, and it was designed to ensure that the monarchy's symbols were no longer used as a disguise for commercial dysfunction. By the second week of February 2026, Meghan Markle stood alone in her Montecito estate. The allies she once leaned on, the heavyweights of Hollywood, had gone silent. Oprah Winfrey, who once promoted Meghan's jam, declined to comment. Tyler Perry, her longtime protector, reportedly distanced himself after seeing the internal chaos of the brand. The silence in Hollywood was as loud as the fury in Windsor. Meghan's refusal to issue a recall or an apology has turned a business failure into a character crisis. Insiders say she views the debacle as sabotage rather than a mistake, believing that acknowledging any fault would give her critics a victory. But the numbers don't lie. Positive engagement has dropped by nearly 70%. The As Ever brand is now radioactive. In London, the royal family issued a final surgical statement. Without naming her, they reaffirmed that no member of the royal family endorses commercial ventures that use regal imagery without permission. It was a formal freezing out. The message was clear: you are no longer one of us, and your business is not our concern. Meghan now faces three paths: a total legal surrender, a costly and losing legal war, or a silent shutdown. As of today, her storefront is frozen, her staff is resigning, and her credibility is in ruins. The woman who wanted to redefine royalty through luxury has instead become a cautionary tale. There is no wick left to light. The flame of the Sussex commercial empire has finally gone out, leaving only the cold wax of broken promises and institutional rejection. This is the end of As Ever, and perhaps the final chapter of Meghan's royal relevance.